Today's December 14th, 2016. Catching up with Jon and Pete, riding up the West Side Highway in New York City. Good morning, Jon. Good afternoon. How was the show?
The show was great, Andrew. We're waiting for the Fed, but just because you're waiting doesn't mean we're not buying and selling stuff. There's still money flowing, even when people are anticipating that the Fed's going to do a 25 basis point, just basically small move. If that's what we get, everything's right in line. I think we're fine. If they all of a sudden mention something about having to accelerate the pace, then I don't think we're so fine. But I favor the former, not the latter.
The verbiage. I mean, Jamie was talking about on the VIX report, nothing really out there as far as moves go. But if the language and the verbiage change after the meeting, then we could see some volatility. So what are you buying?
Well, let's see. Today I was buying a whole bunch of stuff, actually. I was buying some Kate Spade, Kate, because of upside call buying, but that's way out there in April. More immediate stuff that I was doing, Andrew, we were seeing in Cliffs, CLF. These are guys that, supply. The material trade is anything that feeds into the steel companies, things that they need and so forth. And that's what Cliffs is all about, CLF. So we saw some fast money.
If I recall, I think I had a bad taste in my mouth with Cliff last year or the year before. I'm not. Didn't we lose? I lost money on that thing like a year or two ago. I think times have changed now, I guess, for a lot of these out of the favor ones. All right. And what's the other one?
Let's see. Today I was also doing some Nucor, NUE. It's another steel play. So in other words, I'm sort of all about infrastructure today for some of the unusual activity. And, there's been flows in these stocks for weeks from the election through now, and it's heating up again in these names right here.
All right. So let me ask you something. What are you doing with Pete?
Well, we're in Pete's pimped out Escalade with his driver, Rob.
Nice.
And we're cruising down the West Side Highway heading down to the NASDAQ, where Pete's going to do the 5 p.m. tonight. And I'm going to hang down there and then head to this Christmas party for my buddy Scaramucci, Anthony Scaramucci of Skybridge.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Talk to him about that inauguration thing.
I'll try to get your passes. I'll mention it to him tonight, Andrew.
I know, because I'm going to be there. And I got that hat for him I'm going to give to him.
You've already booked your, I'll tell him about the Reagan hat you got for him.
Yeah.
USF.
Cool. Okay, now let me talk to Pete real quick because I know he doesn't want to be going down the NASDAQ right now.
All right, here's Pete.
All right.
Hey, Andrew, how's it going, man?
Pretty good, man. You been watching that Triple Crown of Surfing?
I have been, absolutely. I love that stuff.
It's great just to watch.
I feel like I'm there. I mean, with the ability that we've all got through video and pictures and everything else, just so immediate that you really do feel like you're almost there. The clarity is just incredible. So, yeah, it's been wonderful.
They throw up the drones. It's like the best seat in the house on the beach. I mean, I'd rather be sitting on the beach watching it. But as far as a broadcast event, they're really getting good at this stuff. I mean, with the heats and the...
Yeah, I think it's phenomenal. I really, truly do. I mean, there's been stuff from China, and then there's stuff from pipeline. I mean, it's just been phenomenal just to keep up with. And you do feel, I mean, the pictures there's so much clarity that you actually mentally can actually feel like you're there, and yet you're still back in Chicago, or in my case, in New York, and you're still able to do all your work, but you kind of feel like you're a part of it.
I think of 5 years from now, or 2 years, or 3, who knows, that whole space on surfing is going to be completely changed. It's going to become like watching, I'm not going to say football, but it'll be definitely a watched event. So what are you buying out there? What are you buying as far as stocks go?
Yeah, I was listening to you and John as you were talking, and this metals and materials space has just been absolutely on fire. Then it took a pause, and now it seems like they're kicking right back in again. And I heard you and John discussing Cliffs. There's been some paper in Nucor as well. We also had some really interesting paper in AKS Steel just yesterday that was aggressive. Now, they were going out and buying a little bit of time going out to March. So, that does not make me uncomfortable. It makes sense that maybe we'll have some ups and downs, but overall some ups. And I'm looking at the stock today, and it's performing very nicely today, so that's good. U.S. Steel's had another incredible run again today, and all of this in front of the Fed. We've been seeing all this kind of paper. So I think it's interesting, Andrew, that we're seeing certain sectors that had been so thrown out and chucked to the back that are finally starting to get some a movement again. That part's pretty impressive. I know we all talk about technology, energy, we talk about financials and all that rotation, but I don't know that the networks or even a lot of podcasts are really following how much is going on in some of this material space. And is it infrastructure? I mean, there's all kinds of different reasons why I think this space probably still has some legs in front of it.
All right, I might throw, if you had to pick one to throw some money out, if you're an investor at home listening to this podcast, we just threw out 3 or 4 names, like a cheap, like a little dividend maybe, who knows? Which one?
Yeah.
The AKS, you think?
I think so. And the reason I say that is inexpensive options, which always give you an incredible potential for risk reward. And what I like most about that name right now is just recently, just about less than a month ago, there was aggressive buying in there. At that time, Andrew, seemed like they were going up pretty far and expecting something to happen pretty quick. And they were exactly right. So if this paper that we're seeing now is anything like previous paper, it's an inexpensive option that gives you enough time out to March that you could maybe see the kind of move that's expected out of this, because they were going all the way up to the 13 strike and the stock was trading under 10. Now it's well above 10 today. But, I think the potential's there, and I love being involved in low risk with incredible reward type trades. And so I think that fits the bill right now.
All right. So you going to that Christmas party too tonight?
No, John's more of the party animal than I am. I live a very modest, boring lifestyle. So no, I'll miss it, but I'll live vicariously through him.
You can go home. You can go home and watch some surfing.
Yeah, I'll go home. I'll watch surfing, and then I'll look at his Twitter account to see what's going on.
All right, man.
And Instagram.
Yes.
Thanks, Andrew.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later. Thanks.
Okay. Take care.
All right, bye.